Babysitting is supposed to be easy money. A night with kids, a stocked fridge, maybe even Netflix. But what if the job came with rules? Not just instructions, but terrifying mandates, like don't let the twins out of your sight, or whatever you do, don't let them sing. Tonight on Dark Horror Bytes, we bring you the unsettling true account of a young woman who responded to a babysitting ad posted on an old community board near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. What she experienced in that decaying southern home still haunts her to this day. This is the story of a babysitting gig gone terribly wrong. I found the job on a bulletin board at a local diner in Baton Rouge. It was scribbled in blue ink, nearly falling off the board. Babysitter needed, overnight. Must be discreet. Pays cash, $600. Twins. Ages 6. Contact M. Broussard. It included a local number and said, "No car? No problem. We'll send a driver." I was 19. No car. Just dropped out of college. I thought, easy money. I called the number. A woman answered. Her voice was slow, gravelly. She sounded tired. She gave me the address, said to be ready by 5 p.m. A black SUV would come get me. She told me to bring no electronics. Leave your phone at home, she said. It interferes. Interferes with what? The drive took 2 hours. As we passed deeper into the woods, the roads narrowed. Trees formed dark tunnels overhead. It felt like we were traveling backward through time. We arrived at a large, pale yellow house on stilts. Weathered, ancient. Spanish moss dangled like fingers. Crows circled. Ms. Broussard met me at the steps. She looked like she'd stepped out of a Civil War photo. Gray dress, hair tied back tight, skin papery thin. She led me inside. The house creaked like it had a soul of its own. The twins stood at the foot of the staircase. They didn't smile. Both had jet black hair, pale skin, and identical eyes. Too large, too gray. They blinked in perfect sync. "This is Mara and Micah," Ms. Broussard said. "They know the rules. So should you." She handed me a wrinkled sheet of paper. At the top it read, "Scroll babysitting rules, Broussard twins. 1. Never let them eat after 9 p.m. Even if they cry. Especially if they cry. 2. Do not let them sing. If they hum or begin a melody, cover your ears and distract them immediately. 3. Keep the salt lines unbroken around their room. 4. Do not open the red door in the hallway. It must stay locked at all times. 5. If either twin says, "There's someone in the wall," do not investigate. Just say, "Not tonight." 6. Bedtime is 8:30 p.m. sharp. They must be asleep by 9 o'clock. No exceptions. 7. If you hear footsteps upstairs after 10 p.m., do not check. The twins should not leave their room. 8. Do not ask them about the fire. 9. If you see a third child, do not acknowledge it. 10. If they start to speak in unison, say, "I'm not your mother," and walk away slowly. I looked up, expecting her to say it was a joke. She just stared. Then she said, "You'll be fine, if you follow them." She left. The SUV drove off with her. I was alone, with the twins. The house felt colder than outside. Old portraits lined the hallway, none of them smiled. The twins followed me silently as I explored. Every creaking board felt deliberate. At 7:45 p.m. they ate quietly. Roast chicken. No talking. No utensils scraping. By 8:20 I walked them upstairs. Their room was lined with jars of salt. Mara whispered, "Don't break the circle." They climbed into bed at 8:27. At exactly 8:30 I turned off the light. Then from behind the wall I heard scratching. At 9:12 p.m. I heard humming. Sweet. Innocent. Like a lullaby. Then it got layered. 2 voices. Then 3. I rushed into the room. The twins were sitting upright in bed, eyes wide, mouths open, but not moving. The sound kept going. I clapped. "Hey!" It stopped. They looked at me and, in perfect sync, said, "He likes the music." I backed out, nearly slipped on the salt line. The jar had tipped. A small break in the circle. I poured more salt. Their eyes followed my hands, never blinking. At 10:06 p.m., something tapped the red door. Softly at first, then harder. Then the doorknob turned. I remembered Rule 4, it must stay locked. I pressed my back to the door, whispering, "No, no, no." It stopped. Then I heard a voice behind the door. It sounded like a child. "Please, it's dark. I want to play." Then it screamed. A scream so high-pitched it rattled the glass in the hallway frames. The knob spun once more and fell still. I didn't sleep. At 11:45 p.m., I heard footsteps above me. But the twins' room was the only one upstairs. They weren't supposed to leave after bedtime. I climbed the stairs, slowly. Every step moaned. At the top, the hallway was empty. Salt lines still intact. Then, the third door. The one that wasn't there before. It opened slightly. Inside stood a small boy, completely black-eyed, grinning. I shut the door. When I turned back around, both twins stood behind me. "You saw him?" they whispered. "He saw you too." At 2:14 a.m., Micah began screaming. I ran upstairs. He pointed to the wall. "He's whispering again." I didn't ask who. I just said, "Not tonight." Micah stopped, laid back down. Mara turned her head slowly toward me and said, "He listens to you. You're new." In the kitchen, I found a newspaper clipping inside a drawer. It was dated 1994. Tragedy in Iberville Parish. Historic plantation home burns down. 3 dead. Twins survive. Photos of 2 children. Identical to the ones sleeping upstairs. But that would make them over 30 years old. The article said the fire was caused by unnatural phenomena. No further investigation was made. And next to the clipping was a key, labeled Red Door. I left it in the drawer. At 3:33 a.m., I returned upstairs to check on them one last time. Both were sitting in the middle of the room. In perfect sync, they chanted, "She let him out. She let him out. Now we all must go without." I whispered the phrase, "I'm not your mother." They blinked once and slumped backward, asleep. But outside the window, I saw a figure, tall, watching, smiling. At sunrise, the crows came back. The twins were back in bed, smiling softly. At 7 a.m., Ms. Broussard returned. "Did you follow the rules?" she asked. I nodded. She handed me an envelope of cash. No small talk. As I left, I asked, "Who's the third child?" She paused, then said, "There were 3 in the fire. Only 2 came out. The third still lives in the walls." Some rules aren't meant to be questioned. Some homes remember. Some children don't forget. If you ever find yourself alone in rural Louisiana and a job pays too well for just watching kids, read the rules and pray you're not babysitting ghosts. This was Dark Horror Bytes. Subscribe, like, and hit that bell for more terrifying tales. And remember, if you hear singing after midnight, cover your ears.